Deep in the heart of the rural countryside, there was a stretch of highway that was shrouded in mystery and feared by all who dared to drive on it. The road was known as the Highway of the Damned, and it was said that anyone who traveled on it would be cursed with bad luck and a series of unfortunate events. The story of the Highway of the Damned began over a century ago, when a wealthy businessman named Samuel Blackwood had built the road as a shortcut to connect his estate to the nearby town. Blackwood was a ruthless man who cared little for the well-being of his workers, and he was known to have made a pact with the devil to ensure the success of his business empire. As the road was being constructed, strange occurrences began to take place. Workers would disappear without a trace, and those who remained would speak of ghostly apparitions and unexplained noises that echoed through the night. Despite these ominous signs, Blackwood continued to push forward with the project, and the road was finally completed. But the strange occurrences only intensified after the road was finished. Drivers would report seeing ghostly figures standing in the middle of the road, and some even claimed to have seen the apparition of Samuel Blackwood himself, driving a carriage pulled by hellish horses. The road became notorious for its high accident rate, and people began to avoid it at all costs. Years passed, and the legend of the Highway of the Damned only grew stronger. The road was abandoned and left to decay, but the strange occurrences continued to happen. Some brave souls attempted to investigate the cause of the hauntings, but none ever returned. One stormy night, a group of teenagers decided to challenge the legend of the Highway of the Damned. They packed their car with supplies and set out to explore the abandoned road. As they drove down the desolate stretch of asphalt, they felt an eerie presence surrounding them. Suddenly, the car's engine sputtered and died. The teenagers were stranded in the middle of nowhere, with no cell phone reception and no way to call for help. As they sat in the darkness, they heard the sound of footsteps approaching. The ghostly apparition of Samuel Blackwood appeared before them, his eyes glowing with a malevolent light. He was dressed in his old business suit, and his carriage was pulled by hellish horses that snorted fire and smoke. The teenagers were frozen in terror as Blackwood spoke in a voice that was both ancient and evil. "You should not have come here," he said. "This is a road of the damned, and you are all cursed to roam it for eternity." With that, the ghostly apparition vanished, leaving the teenagers to face the wrath of the Highway of the Damned. They were never seen again, and the legend of the haunted road only grew stronger. Years later, a group of paranormal investigators decided to explore the Highway of the Damned, hoping to uncover the source of the hauntings. They set up their equipment and began to investigate, but as they delved deeper into the mystery, they realized that the road was not just haunted by ghosts. It was alive. The road was a living entity, a malevolent force that had been awakened by the dark magic of Samuel Blackwood. It was a creature of pure evil, and it would stop at nothing to claim the souls of those who dared to travel on it. The paranormal investigators were never heard from again, and the legend of the Highway of the Damned continued to spread. People whispered of the road's malevolent power, and many believed that it was a portal to hell itself. But one thing was certain: the Highway of the Damned would always be a place of darkness and terror, a place where the living were not welcome and the dead roamed free.